that. It's not the same Republicans I grew up with. They're
No.
not conservative like they used to be, you know?
Well, nothing is. I mean, if you're wise enough, what do you do? Where are you from?
I live over in Pensacola. But, you know, my background, a lot of military. I got 32 military.
Yeah, you have that bearing. I was going to say, you know, you were in for a while, weren't you?
Yeah.
What rank did you retire as?
Navy captain.
There you go.
You know what? Because I have to think I was a Marine for half my time, and then I did the Navy Reserve. That's why I retired as a captain. But, you know, I had to think about what I was asking guys to do.
Yeah. It's, you know, but it's expanded way beyond that.
The main mission of the military, if you have a strong military, is a deterrent.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, nuclear submarines. There's no intent to use them. It's
Power is diminished when used.
It was a Cold War, you know, saber rattling to do that. Nobody wanted to push that button. Nobody in their right mind would. But I was in the Marine Corps when the Clintons were in the White House.
Oh boy.
I was at HMX-1. So I know a little bit more about the Clintons behind the scenes. She thinks she's a queen.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's consensus. That's what I hear. That's it. Even
No,
this.
she believes that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Secret Service now is now leaking out to. The Secret Service
got stories.
Yeah, and they're coming out writing books now and leaking information to sites like Infowars, right? They've never done this before. Alex, you familiar with Alex Jones at all? This guy has a site called Infowars. It's become a huge alternative news
Alex
site.
Jones, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'll give you some information on it.
Yeah.
But this guy's got a huge following now. He doesn't take corporate money, you know. He's got maybe 50 reporters working for him, or people working for him now. You know, 12, 13 out in the field. So it's real news, unfiltered. He doesn't pull any punches. He shows it all, good, bad, and the ugly.
Well, that's what we need in this country, and we don't have that with our news today, especially the cable television. And that's my biggest complaint.
You see my thing here, right? They lie.
They do.
They lie. It's all propaganda.
I tell you, I travel quite a bit, and I go overseas a lot, and I watch a lot of different news. As much as I hate to say it, I watch Al Jazeera.
Oh, sure. No, it's true.
And their news is raw news.
No, yeah.
I mean, raw.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're saying a lot of things. Look, we've all done it. You know, flip through the channels and you see the same script, same people, or different people saying the same exact thing, even with the inflections.
Yeah,
you know that can't be.
I'll have to say, though, it's actually gotten better.
It's Infowars.com.
I'm going to do it. Thanks.
Yeah. Actually, they have on the last survey they had, or poll they had, the mainstream media now has a 6% approval rating.
But you know what you have to do anymore? You have to look at them all. And I laugh to myself because I watch CNN off and on. You know, I go through CNN, I go to Fox News, I go to, you know.
If I may. All of these, 95% of everything we hear, read, and see is owned by 6 major corporations, and all 6 of those corporations are owned by the same bank. You will not, I was in the media, you will not hear the truth. There's only one reason for the mainstream media to exist.
Well, you're not going to hear the truth, but what you're going to hear
or different views of the lies.
So if you
actually the same lie.
If you go from MSNBC, which I think is the furthest left, and then you go to CNN, which used to be pretty left, now they're coming a little bit right, but they're not as far left as MSNBC.
It's the Hegelian dialectic, Captain. It's a Hegelian dialectic. They're just playing them off one another. It's divide and conquer.
Yeah. Well,
you know, that's your military. You know how that works.
Yeah, they are.
Since once you start listening to things like Alex Jones and Infowars, right here, and I don't know if you ever listened to Michael Savage.
Yeah.
Listen to
him.
Yeah.
Mark Levin.
Mark's a
little over the top, but you know what? He brings out some good points.
Well, I don't know what's over the top anymore because I swear to God.
Well, the reason why it's over the top is because he yells and screams about it.
Oh well, I can relate to that.
But he, yes, his information I think is good, and he does do the research, and he understands history.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big history buff, especially when I was younger. But going to the military,
Oh yeah, you learn.
pay attention to history.
Well, you got to. You're going into
Pay attention
places,
to
you got to at least know the basic customs.
And
You can't walk in
I
blind.
think that was our biggest fault going over to Iraq.
Oh, there's a lot of big faults on this. Listen, man, this was already planned. This was planned a long time. Let me show you what I'm reading right now, all right? Just give you a little idea where the hell I'm.
Yeah, I want to see what you say, how far back it was planned, because I could tell you when I saw that it was planned. I was at HMX as a second lieutenant. I was a coffee mess officer. I was getting ready to go to flight school, and we were going to do the Iran rescue. That's when Iraq was planned. That far back.
Oh, sure.
1980.
But how did you come into that information? How are you familiar? How do you know that?
I was in the office. I was in the room.
Wow.
That was going to be a stepping stone. Because after that,
And what year was that again? That was
like 1981.
yeah. That
It
was
was 1980. Actually, 1980.
that was Ryan Hyatt, the October surprise. Did you read the book by Barbara Hanukkah?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Well, yes, but that's why you went into the military to fight bad guys to begin with.
That was my reason. That's right. I wanted to defend those who couldn't defend themselves.
Yeah.
I wanted to defend this country for what it was.
Yeah.
And
I mean, all the right reasons. None of this is wrong.
no, but we don't have the backing from the government. You know.
Well, that's why. And what did Thomas Jefferson say about that? What did he say about that?
Yeah, quote.
When tyranny becomes law, resistance becomes duty. And from time to time, the tree of liberty must be watered by the blood of tyrants and patriots. There's 4 ways we fight revolutions in this, that we try, right? We got the voting box, which is, that's where we should be. That's where we love it. We know that's corrupted.
Yeah.
We got the jury box, was actually a pretty damn good thing that we still have. We got the voting box, we got the jury box, we got the soap box, which is what I do.
I think that's important.
Well, it's as important as the 50% of every battle is what? Winning their minds first, going out there, grabbing a hold, putting there. And then lastly, we got the ammunition box. We try to use the first 3 to stay away from the last one, but we always got to be, ready to use it.
Like I tell people, because everybody, I fly with a lot of like-minded people, and I said, hey, term limits would be everything. I said, we do have term limits. You just got to show up at the poll, and you got to convince everybody else to vote them out.
They cannot overcome a landslide. There's enough election fraud going on, voter fraud. Election fraud.
And that's too. We don't want to. There's states that don't want to have ID associated with the name, and I'm kind of going, because it's too expensive, or I don't have transportation. I tell you what, how about a fingerprint?
Look,
How about a biometric?
this is not rocket science, Cap. Me and you can figure out how. This is just counting people's votes. That's all it is.
But we don't do a populist vote anyhow. We go to electoral college, and that's really where your corruption comes into, because now we got money involved. And
well, that's where
politics.
That's where the deep state comes into. That's where we're talking about the people that never leave. The policy makers, the ones at the revolving doors that go through the Bose Hamilton, and back into the Defense Department at Wall Street. They're all the same.
Talk about election fraud, though. We're going to really have to watch.
Oh yes,
because she's got some of the most powerful people backing her. You're going to have to.
They're already finding dead people voting on early voting.
I've seen it in my own county. It's no mystery to me. And
why aren't you running for office? It seems like
I run for office.
You got the same. You got a good. You got the good resume. You've been in the service. You got civic responsibility in you.
2 years in the military. Although we actually had a guy running for Congress.
Just do it locally, man. That's the most important thing, is to get good people in locally.
You're right.
So just run.
I may. I don't know.
Do that. You don't have it. Listen, it's going to eat you up to sit on the sidelines and watch this country get destroyed and not be able to do anything about it. You spent your whole life.
You're right about that. I have an uncle in politics up in Pennsylvania, you know, so I can't say that I'm so far detached, but...
You got no skeletons in your closet, just be yourself. It's not like you're going to be running for president, just run for local whatever, you know?
But, you know, I'm looking at this book you got in your pocket, and I don't know what's in that. I don't know if that's the Constitution, which it may be or may not be. I'm not going to ask you to pull it up, but I just look at that title, and then I look at this picture here. Yeah. I said, we need a book like that that says, when authority approaches you, and they ask you to put your hands on the steering wheel, well, that's the normal reaction. We wouldn't have this problem today.
Oh, no. Every time I run into one of these stupid Black Lives Matter, you know, idiots, I go, well, if you really want to change things, join the damn police force. Join the force. You need a job? Go join the force.
I got a lot of friends, though, that are really, you know, they're the silent. I'm not going to call them the majority because they're not the majority, but they're silent. But they are out of the fray. They're, you know, they live with a family. They're with their kids. They make good money, and it's just they're embarrassed. They're like, you know,
that's another thing.
And go to work.
Yeah. Don't worry. It's when the real shit hits the fan. People are going to be doing things they never in their wildest dreams.
I think you're right.
You've seen what happens in war-torn areas. Yeah. You know what happens when the trucks stop bringing in the goods and the medicines. People get real angry. When you look around, I look around here and I see these Walmart queens, and you know, get mad because their brand of lipstick isn't on the shelf.
Well, look what just happened.
Morning.
Down the road there, on the East Coast. That's the start of it right there. And nobody's saying it was wrong. That's the thing. I hadn't heard one person yet, a political individual, say this stuff wrong.
Oh, I hear you. And isn't that a shame? It's scary. It's scary.
Well, people are waking up because things are getting weirder and
I
weirder
hope they're
and weirder.
waking up.
No, they are. I mean, I'm out here talking to them every day. This is what I do. And, you know, yeah, you can't trust Uncle Sam. Just give me your money.
Well, and that's where we're getting to, is you can't trust
No, you can't. I mean, well, you can and you can't. We can't lump them all together because there's a lot of good people in the government. The ones at the top have seen, it seems like the crazies are now running everything.
You're right. Oh, what a great way to describe it. The crazies.
The ones they used to keep under the
stairwell,
you know.
Yeah, you're right.
We got to go to the polls. You're letting it happen.
Yep.
You know, why is Pelosi in office still?
Well, I mean, look, it's just complete lawlessness. That's what I'm saying. You know, people say, "Oh, you're going too far here, putting them in Nazi uniform." I said, "Who the hell I am?" I said, "This guy is like, you know, done everything. We look like Nazi Germany, 1938 right now." You know what to expect when I first started doing this, right?
Yeah.
But it's been the greatest lesson in psychology and sociology and that I think you could ever have. Because again, I'm over the talking edge. I just got a guy to hopefully go in there and start running and, you know, at the local level, start fixing things. You know, might move back to Pensacola just to vote for you.
Well, actually, you know, I've thought about it from time to time, but I'll see what happens. You know, I just it's hard, and it's getting harder.
Well, no one ever said it'd be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
No, what I mean is not harder and harder to run for office, although that is a difficult task in itself.
Yeah.
You know, the money, the graft, you know.
Yeah, but now, like, you could play it just like, you know, let's say Trump played it. The paradigm is shifting. You really don't have to spend that money. Everybody's online now.
No, but I do think Trump needs to be a little bit more presidential. I think he needs to be somewhat reserved, but, you know, he's making a lot of, you know, ground because, as you said, people like that. People are just tired of, you know, the nice, let's be politically correct. Politically correct is really a bad term.
Oh, yeah.
I think you need to tell the truth.
Well, you know that's the psyops anyway, that you know, language is used as a weapon.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's all propaganda and psyops. I mean, that's why he speaks to most of his audience like on a fourth grade level.
But I think if Trump could bite his tongue a little bit and not get so afraid with Hillary, I think this debate is going to be really interesting.
This thing's going to be the most watched thing we've ever seen. They estimate that as many as worldwide. God bless America. Yes, worldwide.
Oh yes.
As many as 500 million will be watching this.
No question about it.
You think so?
No question about it. And I do have to laugh. You know, the comment. Although I think there's a lot read into what Trump said about Putin. Believe me, Putin's watching this.
Oh God, are you kidding me?
And Putin, what is so funny about this is, he knows if Hillary wins, man, he is just going to continue on like he did with Obama. You know, he's going to do what he wants to do.
Oh, well, okay. Actually, you know what I actually see happening? If Hillary gets in or cheats, because she can't win it. She's going to have to cheat. Please. Right? So let's say she cheats her way in. I don't see the American people or Trump standing for it. I mean, he's not going to fold like Sanders did. So he's going to fight it. Right?
I agree.
And that's it. I mean, so I see, a matter of fact, you know what I really hold almost as much weight as speaking to a lot of military, militia, government people out here. I think we're closer to a military coup than we've ever been. Do you think? Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the generals disobey Obama a lot. Sharing information with the Russians.
And what's really ironic is I think the guys that were former military, with the erosion of, you know, their benefits that as they sign that contract to defend the country went away. And one of the big things is the health care. I mean, it's eroding to nothing.
I was speaking to a couple of master sergeants out here a couple of weeks ago, and they said that their pay was cut, $450 a month, the medical was cut, benefits were, I mean, they were cutting everything.
And they got a lot on the table right now. It's just going to get worse. So I think when that happens,
a lot of infection.
These guys are going to come back.
Yeah.
And they know how to lead.
Well, that's it. You know, that's why I can't see that what the elite's crazy, because this is what I'm saying. Nobody's going to follow their orders. I mean, nobody, not the police I talk to, or not the military people I talk to. Of course, most of the armed citizens, they're not going along with it. But
I mean, if they want to change the Constitution, or they want to change the interpretation of the Constitution, we can change the interpretation when you take the oath as a military officer, where it says you're going to defend the country against domestic and foreign, and the president, and that'll change. It'll change. It'll change overnight.
You know,
people are mad. People are really mad, and I think people are reading between the lines, going.
Can't go on much longer.
But you know, I see this as a distractor.
What's that?
We're talking 13% of the population. You know,
yes.
These are numbers I hear, and I go, you know what? And it's taken 95% of the media to defend a criminal. Take it to the mat for a criminal. Now, granted, I think there are some situations where it's really unfortunate, but bottom line is citizen rule. We live in a society with laws and rules and expected behavior.
Got a chance to watch Donald Trump last night. Fox News, Hannity.
Yeah.
There's only one thing I'd like him to do, but I can see why he's not doing it yet. There's 5 debates this guy was going. And his opponent stole stuff from Bernie Sanders. And he made, well, I was going to do this, and she come up. She used it. I would like to see Mr. Trump give me decisive examples of what he's going to do to this. He's not going to do it yet because I think Hillary will steal it.
It's probably, it might be, but I'm wondering if she's even going to show up for this debate. You understand her last 2 public appearances, she threw up in a glass at the stage at one and had an ambulance waiting for her. The other one, she did a face plant in the damn van. And they threw her in the back of a sack of potatoes, and she's just canceled 2 events. She today she was supposed to be in an event she canceled, and she canceled one the other day.
Because I remember they mentioned that one that she had today.
Yeah, they
I'm
canceled.
going to tell you what, though. You looked at that interview, and I agree with what you're saying to an extent. But you got to remember, Trump is a businessman.
Yes.
He's successful. It's a little debatable. But if you won't, look what he does in his businesses. He gets the best. And he puts that team together. Start looking at who's speaking for him. Take a look at General Flynn.
I love
General Flynn the other day.
Flynn's great.
And they hit him with transvestites in the military. And I mean, just knowing Flynn, I was just waiting. I'm like, oh man, this is just going to be bad. He handled that.
He's good.
So well. He goes, you know what? Military is qualified bait. If you're qualified, you can do the mission without detracting from everything else. So be it.
That's what I didn't understand about this. Don't ask, don't tell thing. When I was in, there was gays in the military. And when you was in that foxhole and you was receiving fire, that guy wasn't looking at your ass thinking, yeah, I want something else.
Well, you brought it up earlier when you said wedge issues. You know, that's all the flack they throw at us, keep our eyes glazed as they steal from us.
You can't be focused on that.
That's right.
Get with the left and...
Yep. Yeah. So
But
that's why people are waking up to this. This is what I'm, out it.
Watch who
No one
he has advising him, and listen to those people when they go and get interviewed. Listen to Pence.
He's going to get the job done.
Oh, yeah, well,
listen to Pence.
Well, Pence, the vice president in this situation. Always a pleasure to see you, man.
Nice talking to you.
I am a conservative.
I would have been a good bet. I could have bet some money on that one.
What you were saying?
Well, Pence is like every vice president in an election cycle. He's the hitman. He goes out there and he can really project probably more than.
But he does it intelligently.
Oh yeah.
When I look at Kane, I'm like, he looks like a clown. And then they ask him something real. Well, I'll have to let Hillary handle this, or the chief of staff for her now running her campaign. Who was interviewing him? Let me think about the interview. Oh, Joe Scarborough on Morning Joe. And he goes, I'll have to defer to Hillary. Oh, I have to defer to Hillary. And he goes, well, do you know anything that Hillary stand is? You just deferred 4 items. Come on now, I'm not asking you a tough
Scarborough,
question.
who's not.
Oh, yes. And Joe, Joe Scarborough,
I'm surprised he doesn't
it wasn't for his, for what's her name, Brezhnev. If it wasn't for her, that show wouldn't be on the air. But you know, and I know Joe Scarborough. I don't know him personally that he knows my name, but I met him a couple times. I don't particularly care for him. I don't like his show, but I want to see what the other side's doing. But when he interviewed that, I said, did somebody at Fox News drop my check? Because he humiliated her manager.
Yeah.
I mean, humiliated her.
Well, that's pretty good because, I mean, I'm glad maybe it's they're getting to the point now that they can't even stomach it. I know that's not.
He doesn't like Trump, you know, and what he doesn't like about Trump, he doesn't like the tone.
I don't give any credit to these. I mean, they'd have to do a lot more mea culpas before, you know. I actually spit on a CNN crew. Last time I was at the Trump night.
You don't like promo either, huh?
Oh, okay. I went to the Trump rally dressed in my full regalia Uncle Sam outfit. Of course, it was just drawing a lot of attention. And a lot of media was coming up. A guy from Reuters came up and said, mind if I do a short interview? He says, you won't like it. I said, why wouldn't I like it? Because you'll probably take all the truths I'm about to say and turn them into lies. He says, we don't lie. He got really indignant and stuff, you know. I said, I told you we wouldn't like this interview. Yeah. So no. I don't. I mean, the litmus test for me has always been 9/11. You know, if you're not telling the truth about 9/11, I'm sorry. You know, then what else are you hiding? I mean, what else? You know, it was not 19 hijackers who brought down these planes. So if you're not telling us, I mean, anybody. I mean, cursory small investigation shows we were lied to. At the very bare minimum, we were lied to. Of course, it shows a lot more. Just the 28 pages that came out. Oh, and Obama, of course, vetoing spitting in our face. Yeah, I like the the Saudis more than I do the American people. Yeah, screw those people.
I travel a lot to the Middle East. Let me tell you that.
Do you really?
Yeah. What there's no redeeming factor to them because they lie to you at first because and I ask them this, when you do business with them, and they go, well, that's the manly. Yeah. We have to try to, we have to lie to you to get the, that's what a man does. And I go,
to try to get the best out of, I suppose.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't say I'm prejudiced. I just understand them now.
Yeah, well, he didn't like it because of what you brought up there.
I understand them, and you know what? I call them for it, and they play that game. As long as you know who you're dealing with. But you know what? We don't hear that from our politicians that deal with that. And then I hear this crap that, Hillary's over talking to the Saudis, or Hillary was doing this and that, and I'm kind of like, if that's what you're saying and you believe that, then you don't know what you're dealing with. So, it's just, it frustrates me that we have these people that work in Washington that really don't know what they're doing.
Oh, sure.
And they are your duty expert.
Obama's putting women in charge of the military that have never been in combat. Or how do you do that?
Well,
if they can do the job, but I don't see them.
But if you're a manager and you have the skills of managing, and you get somebody that knows how to get it done, your lieutenants, I'll use that as a term.
You're a lot more liberal than I am on that.
Yeah, I think I am, because I'm not willing to say that there aren't good women out there.
See, you should run for office. You'd have the woman vote. My God, you got it all there, man. Come on, do it.
But you know what?
You're still relatively a young man.
The first thing you got to think about when you send guys into harm's way, is this price worth it? And I think women are more tuned to that than men.
That's why, I like to remember the cat. What was his name? The veteran who started out the first debate, Democratic debate. He was a Marine veteran.
Yeah, that was Jim Webb.
Jim Webb.
And I tell you what, Jim Webb sounded like a Republican up there on that first debate, and he got to say what? 2 times he got called on. I think Jim Webb ran on the wrong ticket. I think if Jim Webb would have ran on the Republican ticket, although he's a Democrat, senator.
But here, let me give you a get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
Nice.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just a silver because you're not going to use it. You have to identify yourself as Hillary.
Yeah, well, I can put a wig on.
Yeah, but you get too much class. You have too much honor to do that. Come on, you give it to a liberal friend or something.
They'll use it. But no, it's just so much to talk about, and we got too many distractions in what's going on here, and I don't know if you're pushing this idea, especially to the conservatives who go, well, I can't really vote for Trump because I don't like his demeanor. Bottom line is, we're talking about the Supreme Court right now.
I'm trying to push that big issue, exactly.
Because that's not going to change.
Because I'm saying,
your grandkids are going to.
If this were, and it's a cliche to say, this is the biggest election of our time.
It is.
Ever. Right. It's a cliche to say that, but this is true with this one. This is truly about what Trump said in his acceptance speech. Americanism against globalism. Americanism will become our freedom, not globalism. And that's it. The globalists they're at the last stages of forming the technotronic tyranny that Eisenhower warned us in '56 that was going to happen. That Kennedy warned us about in the speech that got Kennedy killed, with the secret societies. And so, and that the same ones that did 9/11, same ones that got a hold of the damn financial system, and just got everything by the balls. They're in their last stages. I liken it to like a tsunami, when the wave goes out, all of a sudden, a lot of shells show, people out there picking up the shells.
It's coming back.
Right, all of a sudden this wave's going to come back like boom, like quickly. And we're right about here.
Yeah.
You're right. We're right about there. So all this illusion's going to end soon, and that transition period is what's that big question mark is where that's going to be. how are the American people going to stand up to that transition? Are we going to see the military, or responsible to stand up and start arresting people? Just you wake up on a Monday morning and say, folks, don't worry about anything. Things will be back to normal here in a week. We're making arrests. In the meantime, go about your business. Blah blah blah. Are we going to see that kind of a revolution here? Are we going to see, or are the powers that be going to collapse the economy before, have the Black Lives Matter and all the hate group? Yeah, all the, the social agents of Soros go out here, ISIS, little terrorist attacks here and there. And we don't even have a big one. Why not, we have missing nukes. Why not blow up Chicago and really screw things up? I mean, and we've never been close to nuclear war before. So any domino can fall that could cancel the election, turn us into civil war.
If they cancel the election, Obama will have to be impeached. He can't stay. But that's who's polling right now for Hillary. The majority of it is the old school. They want to go into that
you
vote.
Can't believe those polls.
And they see that big D, and they're just going to do this. They don't even look at the name.
Oh, I understand.
I mean, that's the majority of it.
Yeah.
I mean, don't kid yourself on the millennials. Really? They're not going to come to the polls.
Actually,
they don't like who they want. They're not coming to the polls.
I actually did an interview out here about a month ago with the Democratic chairman of Lamar County, Mississippi, working to defeat Hillary.
Really?
Got into it because of Bernie.
Yeah.
But when Bernie washed out,
you guys understand history and read about socialism? You read about Russia? After World War II?
I did my best to school them. I always do. Yeah, I know. But
look, pay for that.
I know. We were talking about what, 40, 50 years of education being corrupted. That's where it all starts. They start that whole socialist program in the school boards, and then it's you get. I mean, Hitler said it. 2 or 3 generations in the country's mind.
Well, let's just talk about it. Socialism. What's socialism do? They want the people dependent on the government. So first thing you do is you feed them. Next you go ahead and make sure they got medical care. You put a roof over their head. So how many more little steps do we got to go before we're socialists? Free everything?
Yeah. And we all know where that leads.
We just don't have the resources for it. We don't have.
Oh no, nobody does. I mean,
that's the bottom line.
Well,
look at Canada right now. I hear all these people saying, "Oh, socialized medicine works so good in Canada." Have you read the Canadian newspapers here in the last year? Their workforce is diminished. Along with the workforce is the tax. And guess what? All the same people are still using socialized medicine they can't afford. And why do you think you have all these medical professionals from Canada coming to the States? Come on, people. Just read the paper.
Well, yeah, but, again, and it's like it always has been. It's the masses have never ever paid attention. I mean, even during the American, even during the American Revolution. Well, what was it? 2% started fighting. At the height, 12%. So 88% of the populace is sitting on the side going, whatever. So they never matter anyway. It's small groups of people that are dedicated.
But this time around, as you said, probably about the first 30 years, a little dialogue here is that they're really going to feel the hurt this time. They're going to really feel the hurt.
Well, I always like it. This is the analogy I draw is during the Great Depression, when 90% of this country was agrarian and could feed themselves necessarily. 7 million people starved to death in this country. Today, 90% of these people couldn't grow weeds with instructions. And if you look at the
and they better remember, people are arming up, and they're not arming up because they like to shoot.
Oh, no. I mean, if there's anything that Obama's been, he's been the best gun salesman ever.
Oh, has he?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think he realized that that's what it was going to be. I think it backfired.
Oh, no, of course everything's backfiring on him. I mean, this is what good does. I mean, every time resistance, there's bad, resistance happens to it. So when they show their Well, they're uncloaking now, and that's why you're seeing more resistance. I mean, I went out 4 years ago, I wasn't getting the kind of feedback I'm getting out here today.
Is that right? Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, so it's, it's every, I have a liking it too, of course, a lot of us do with the internet. People just finally get fed up. Fed up.
And the silent majority are finally starting to lift their heads up. They've been putting their heads in the sand for years. They've been just going to work.
Starting to dip into their savings. I mean, it doesn't work, it's not what that kind of wakes you up, and you go, well, wait a second here. So we're all become debt slaves. Talked to a counselor in public school from Chicago yesterday. I'm surprised this guy could even go on. Because, 17 years as a school counselor in the inner city. Whew, I saluted this guy. I applauded him. And, we talked about what it is. It's the obvious thing, breakdown of the family.
Bottom line. And I'm going to end with that and say amen, and that's where I go. The bottom premise is a family. No respect in society anymore. No education. And people are living like animals. And they're not paying attention to what's going on.
And then we import animals.
We're degrading. We're degrading.
And we import people that know nothing but war all their life.
We're degrading the term society. Look society up in a doggone dictionary.
Derek.
It tells you right there.
Run for office, will ya?
Mike, I may. I'll see you around. Next
all right,
time
brother. Nice talking to you, Capt.